everybody, and welcome to Full Court MACtion, a half hour dedicated to the players and coaches making an impact in the Mid-American Conference. Tamar Singer traveled literally 6,000 miles and 7 time zones to play college basketball for the Redhawks. Before coming to Miami, Singer served 2 years in the Israeli military. Her heart and sometimes mind are back home in Israel with her family. But with her loved one's support, she had to chase her dream of playing college basketball in America.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 5'4" freshman guard coming from Haifa, Israel, number 13, Tamar Singer.
All the years when I was playing in Israel, so I thought about playing in college, but I didn't want because this reason. I was like, I can't be far from my family. They're like everything for me and I need them. And then I was like, I need to try. Like, there's no way I'm just giving up.
I knew Tamar, but she didn't know me. So I coached her best friend. I recruited and coached her best friend at Indiana. I have a friend in Israel. He passed along her information. He really kind of set everything up. And then I finally called her, and she literally said, "Coach, I've been waiting for you to call."
It's funny because the first phone call we had, I was in the mall and I didn't want to answer. I was with my mom and we just ordered food and I was like, "Mom, I'm not answering. Like, I'm nervous. No way I'm answering." And she was like, "Just answer." It was like 45 minutes talk. It was the best talk I ever had with a coach.
Tamar is extremely loyal. People just love her.
Tamar is just someone that you always just want to be around. Like, she's just positive energy. She's very warm-hearted.
My dad always told me that this is the right place for me to go to college. Since I'm 8, he was like, "You need to go to college." Before I left Israel, I took all my friends and I was like, "You need to stay there for me and be ready because I'm gonna call, I'm gonna ask. I just wanna know that everyone is safe and everyone is good." Right now, it's a hard time for us as people, for us as a country. We still have 100 hostages in Gaza.
I was honestly just in shock to hear that everything that's going on over there, and she still is living her life over here away from her family, and she just never knows what is going on over there or what could happen over there. So I think it's just important for us to make sure that she has our support and we're always there for her.
I have to say that they're amazing. They're asking me a lot of questions and it's good because I want them to know, like, if you don't know the story, so it's hard for you to understand.
Her family's thousands of miles away. She's gonna think about them. She's gonna have dark times. And the only thing that we honestly can do for her is just give her a safe space and make her feel as comfortable as possible and just be a lending ear and not put her in a position where she don't have to worry about much.
When I have tough day, they can see it. Like, they are always helping me. They're there for me. They're asking again, asking. It's the best. They're helping me.
Mom almost feels like a sister now. So it's real cool, and her dad is super cool, and we're all family.
Culturally, she's helped us understand a lot of her culture, and I think as a team, we have a lot of different cultures on our team, and I think it's just a great atmosphere to be in. You learn a lot, and you really have an open mind about everything.
I have a word in Hebrew that they know, so it's like yalla. It's like, let's go.
For Tamar Singer. Also, number 10, comes in.
They're really into it, and I like it. I love it.
Singer's impact both on and off the court for the Redhawks has been impressive and invaluable.
You find what you seek. Okay, what am I going to look for that's good? What progress am I going to look for individually and collectively that's good? How can I lock in on that, and how can I feed off of that?
Let's welcome in Eastern Michigan's women's coach, Sahar Nusseibeh. Coach, you coached under Coach Elliott at Cincinnati, who's from the Gino Auriemma tree. What did you learn under Coach Elliott that you want to incorporate in the Eastern Michigan program?
Coach Elliott was a consummate winner. Obviously, her background as a player and an assistant coach at UConn, taking over that Cincinnati job, I was with her in her first 2 seasons. And that was a true build, just like we're in a true build. And the best thing I learned from her is winners are winners before they win. And what I mean by that is our behavior, our approach, how you do anything is how you do everything. That mentality that everything matters and how you carry yourself through hard matters. That's the best thing I learned from Coach Elliott. And she ended up turning that program around within a few years. And fun story, full circle moment, one of my assistants, Charisse McBrayer, actually played for Coach Elliott at the time at Cincinnati. And so another winner on the court. So I was fortunate enough to bring her here on my staff. But Coach Elliott, consummate winner. Winners are winners before they win, and that's what we're trying to teach our women here every day. Obviously, record-wise, hasn't been what we wanted yet. But for us to continue to approach our work like winners, that's the most important thing right now.
So you also know the MAC, spent some time at both Bowling Green and Miami. What was it that appealed to you about Eastern Michigan?
This is by far my favorite conference, and I learned how great of a conference it was when I was at Bowling Green, when I was at Miami. The reason I love this conference so much, it's arguably one of the best mid-major conferences in the country when it comes to the talent, the competitiveness, how good the coaching is. You have to bring your A game every night if you want to come away with a W, and the margin for error is so small. And I absolutely love that about this conference. The other thing I love about this conference is the people. I feel like whether it was Bowling Green, whether it was Miami, and certainly here at Eastern Michigan, the people are so invested in their university and their sports programs. I absolutely love the investment from the people.
So you mentioned it's a little bit of a tough start to the season, but Cece Aleko is having a great start. Double-double, 19.9 points, 10.7 rebounds. What has she meant to the Eagles just getting this thing rolling?
Yeah, I mean, she is producing at a really, really high level right now. So really proud of her growth. I've had the opportunity to coach her for the last 2.5 seasons now. And so I've seen her tremendous growth from her first year to her junior year here in her junior season. The thing about Cece is she's not satisfied. Obviously, we're not on the right end of the win-loss column. And so she's trying to find ways that she can do, or things that she can do differently in how she can produce more for us so that we can get in the W column. But Cece has grown tremendously, extremely proud of her production. The way she approaches her development is like an absolute pro. She puts a lot of time off the court into her development. She studies her film. She comes to me all the time asking, how is Ball State going to defend me? How is Kent State going to defend me? How is Central going to defend me? Where can I get spots on the floor that are going to be successful? She's always studying how she can be successful on the floor going into every single game. And so the time she puts off the court when the lights aren't on, it's at a pro level. And so I expect her to continue her production and hopefully find ways to differentiate herself even more that can help lead to wins for us.
Coach Nusebe, thanks so much for the time and the insight. Look forward to seeing Eastern Michigan as we go through Mid-American Conference play.
Thanks so much, Dave.
Time for us to take a quick timeout. Other side of the break, we talk to the men's coach at Bowling Green, Todd Simon, when Full Court MACtion returns. Full Court MACtion continues. We turn our attention to the men's game. Let's welcome in Bowling Green head coach Todd Simon. Coach Simon, a tremendous first season last year. Turned around a 20-loss team the year before to a 20-win team last year. What does that do for expectations for you and the Falcons in year two?
Yeah, no, it's good. We like expectations, and obviously last season we did a good job, coming together quickly and being very competitive in the MAC and laying a foundation of what our culture is going to be. And I thought that kind of carried the day. But this season, we've got big expectations. Obviously, right now we're dealing with some injuries, and but we like our upside. And when we get back to full strength here pretty soon.
You mentioned that. Non-conference, you go into the Breslin Center, you play Michigan State, top 20 team in the country. You're tied with them at halftime. What does that show you and this year's team?
Yeah, I mean, I think Michigan State is one of the premier teams in the country this season, and obviously undefeated in the Big Ten and doing a lot of damage. And they play with tremendous depth, and that was one of the last times we were healthy. So we feel like when we're at that full strength, that's our ceiling. We can compete with one of the best teams in the country on their home floor. We have everybody and the pieces are clicking. So we just got to get over the hump, and when we do, we think the ceiling's very high for this group.
Well, one of the guys that's played really well, Javante Campbell, third in the country in steals, over 3 steals a game, 15.3 points a game, almost 4 rebounds a game. How important is he to the Falcons, and what kind? It sounds like he does everything.
Yeah, Javante's a special player. You know, he's multifaceted. He's so active. His basketball IQ and his intuition for the game is off the charts, and he's tough. He's tough as they come. And so, pound for pound, we think he's the toughest player in the country. And so we we get to use him in a lot of different ways. He makes things happen on both ends of the floor, and it really matters to him. You know, he's a competitor.
All right, before I let you go, what do you need to see, other than getting healthy, on the court for the Falcons to be what they want to be this year?
Yeah, we have guys stepping up, you know, and that's the the silver lining is we have some guys that Jemai Felt, Wilkins Exact, guys that are getting their chance to get on the floor and develop, and you can see the upside is starting to come through. So we think when we get guys back and combined with guys getting experience as we go right now, it's just going to make us a deeper team. So we just got to keep plugging away and doing the right things.
Todd Simon, appreciate the time and the insights. Best of luck to the Falcons throughout MAC play.
Thank you very much.
Time to take a look at the road to Cleveland standings. On the men's side of things, we played 3 games in conference, still have 4 unbeaten teams. Miami, Akron, Ohio, and Toledo, all 3-0. Kent State, Ball State, right behind them at 2-1. The 6 remaining teams are below the 500 mark. When it comes to the game of the week on the men's side, 2 of the top teams going at it at Kent State on Saturday. The Miami Redhawks are filling things up. They've scored 80-plus in 5 straight games, including a 141-point performance against Defiance. But the Golden Flashes have a lockdown defense, have held opponents to 50 points or less in back-to-back games. Time for a quick timeout. Other side of the break, we check in with Bob Bolden, women's basketball coach down in Athens, Ohio, the Ohio University Bobcats, when Full Court MACtion continues. We continue talking Mid-American Conference basketball here on Full Court MACtion. Let's welcome in the Ohio University women's coach, Bob Bolden. Bob, appreciate the time. MAC play didn't get off to the start you wanted to, but you have some really good young players, predominantly from Ohio, some other players from the transfer portal. How difficult is it to balance so many new players, especially when you sprinkle in some of the injuries that you've had?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we're still trying to figure out our identity. I think we have some good young talent. The transfer portal certainly has been good to us, and we're still trying to figure out how to mesh all that together. And hopefully we can get that turned around sooner than later.
One player who's been very good, senior Kennedy Watkins, 16.2 points a game, closing in on 1,000 career points. What do you need from Kennedy to start playing the way you want to? Obviously, you're getting a lot of good things from her, but for you guys to be what you want to be, what do you need from Kennedy?
Yeah, I'm really proud of the way that Kennedy has grown her game. You know, she came here, she didn't shoot the 3 particularly well, and she's put a lot of time and effort into that and is shooting the 3 well. She's getting to the rim. She's diversified her game. And she's got a wonderful personality. She's been a tremendous leader and a tremendous role model for our younger kids to look up to. And, hopefully we could play a little bit better around Kennedy. It'll make things a little bit easier for Kennedy, and hopefully we can have a positive end, and she can have a positive end to her college career.
So you mentioned you're kind of trying to figure out your identity. What do you want to see on the court when you're doing the things you think you can do to turn this around and get things rolling? There's still plenty of time in the Mid-American Conference as far as conference play goes.
Yeah, we need to turn the ball over less, generate a better quality shot than what we're currently doing. And then defensively, just try to limit our mistakes. Again, we've had some people playing out of position or positions that they weren't recruited here to play in. And I think they've handled that well. Now they've got a few games under their belt. Just try to be a little bit more efficient with that and, as I said, take better care of the basketball and be a little bit more efficient on offense. That'll help our transition defense and clean things up at that end as well.
Coach knows his team. What have you liked most about your group as you've kind of haven't gotten off to the start you wanted to?
I like their toughness. They've stuck together. I like their camaraderie. They seem to genuinely like each other. So I'm proud of the way that they've hung in there and battled through this. And it's hard to see your teammates get hurt and not play and opportunities take away from them. And I think they've done a good job of focusing on what they can control, and hopefully we can continue to do that.
Bob Bolden, as always, appreciate the time and the insight. Thanks very much. Best of luck to the Bobcats as you get rolling in Mid-American Conference play.
Thanks so much.
4 games of conference play are in the books on the women's side of things. Here are the standings. On the road to Cleveland, Ball State remains undefeated at the top of the standings. Toledo, Kent State, Akron, and Western Michigan are all tied at 3-1 in MAC play. Buffalo and Miami are 2-2. The rest of the conference is below 500. For our women's game of the week, all eyes will be on Muncie, Indiana Monday as the Cardinals put their perfect MAC record on the line against the Toledo Rockets. Toledo has won 7 of their last 8 and is undefeated when they score at least 71 points. They're averaging 72.1 per game. Ball State can score too. They've broken 100 twice in their last 5 games. Cardinals have 5 players averaging close to 10 points per game or better so far on the season. When we return to Full Court MACtion, we take a look at the 2001 Mid-American Conference Tournament. That's straight ahead. Stay with us. Welcome back to Full Court MACtion. Our next stop takes us to Muncie, Indiana, where we meet sophomore forward Mason Jones of the Ball State Cardinals. Mason's family is full of athletes, and he is always competing. Ball State's Abby Parnell and Lindsay Fuller have the story.
Left wing. Tight defense from Flanagan. Here's an open midi by Jones, and he connects.
I fell in love with basketball pretty early, and I knew that was going to be my sport. My dad played football at Notre Dame. My mom played softball at IU. From the outside, it might not look like a lot of loving, but my dad's very hard on me when it comes to athletics, but it's all out of love, and I wouldn't be here without him. When it comes to showing his love, it's showing me how to do things right when it comes to him. And my mom's always been supportive. She's the one that if I did bad and I know I'd done bad, she'll still tell me I did good no matter what. And so have equal forces like that really was awesome throughout my growing up. He's going to IU, plays football there. He was actually just here this weekend, and we got a dartboard and we were already fighting. That was the first time I've seen him in a couple months, so everything we do is definitely competition. It was like that all growing up too, everything we did. Even if it's just luck, we're gonna be competing like it's skill. Everything's a battle. It definitely helps when you want to be an athlete yourself. You can learn a lot, not only like what you have to do to train in your sport, but also like life habits. Having that firsthand every day really helped me.
With this being the 25th year of the Mid-American Conference Tournament being in Cleveland, we continue to take a look back at past performances. In 2001, the then Gund Arena hosted the top 2 seeds Kent State and Toledo in the women's championship game. The Golden Flashes dominated early with a 23-point lead going into halftime. Then the Rockets rallied back, led by senior Kaylee Carter, who only scored 4 points in the first half, but Carter bounced back and scored 27 in the second half, helping send the championship game into overtime.
I have never seen anybody take over a ball game like Kaylee Carter is doing right now.
From there, it was all Toledo. The Rockets capped off the comeback with a 14-point overtime period and defeated Kent State. 74-65, Carter cut down the nets and took home the tournament's Most Valuable Player Award. We are running out of time on this edition of Full Court MACtion, but before we go, let's take a look at some of the top plays from Week 2 of MACtion.
Ahead to McConowitz, and she's blocked out of bounds. What a play by Demetria Pruitt.
Eurosephisus, Anthony Pritchard, outstanding offensive players. Oh, no, he didn't. Nate Johnson.
5 seconds left until halftime. Tabling rushes the other way. 1 second, and the lefty flip is down.
Cooper. Here goes Miami. This is where they're dangerous, and a slam home from Ian Elmer.
Watch Peter Suter with that dime. I mean, that's why you say a stat sheet stuffer.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Make it 5. A spin from McConowitz, and she banks it in. What a shot from the fifth-year player.
They switch Johnson out of the near side. Get into the hands of Butler. Butler got inside and threw it down.
Yeah, no help there.
Asensio across half court. Spitzley fires the 3 and banks it home. At the buzzer, they'll count it.
Mitchell loops it. Alley-oop. Wow.
Whoa.
And one. What a slam dunk for the freshman. One of the best you'll see all year. We're only in MAC game number 2.
Thanks for joining us on this edition of Full Court MACtion. We are now all out of time. We expect to see you back here next week, same time, same place, when again we'll spotlight some of the best players and coaches from the Mid-American Conference. Have a great night, everybody.